very interesting manner in that if the benefits are obvious, right? Why only 40% firms do this? I think there are 2-3 aspects. One is customer journey mapping. While we talk about it, it's not very simple. Because you need to look at all touch points. Gather, and you may still find you miss.
And the art and science marrying them is difficult. Like
exactly, right? So I think that's one point. The other is we talk about customer journey mapping. Everybody talks about journey mapping. But an interesting aspect of that is also the data mapping, right? The data journey mapping. Nobody talks about that, but that, you need to do that.
Those are the building blocks.
Exactly. Now, when you do that, you're able to get some, benefits. So one is the fact that it is difficult. The other is, the typical syndrome of, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Because we all tend to, prioritize, what's broken. So these are 2 reasons why firms don't do it. The third aspect is most of us take an inside-out view. We don't necessarily take an outside-in view, right? I mean, let every person actually introspect and say that, while we all talk about customer service, how many of us, have actually gone and sat with customers, and see the entire journey through their eyes, right?
Correct.
That doesn't happen, right? For example, a prominent bank in the US, they actually had somebody, a very senior, senior folks in their team, stand in the queue in the bank. For the teller. Then they figure out, what were the opportunities, and when you do that, then you're able to, because most people rely on dashboards and, indirect experiences, from teams. So I think, so I think these are 2-3 factors which come in. The other is, sometimes we don't rely on the people, at the ground level who are closest to the process or closest to the customer. You get a lot of rich inputs from there. The whole aspect is, maybe it's top down, but if you make it bottoms up, you can get these inputs. So I think these are, these 3-4 factors. Now coming to formal customer journey mapping, the point that you made, why do you get those, benefits? And I'll give you one example. What happens if, let's say, the customer wants to search for your branch? Now, by default, the whole endeavor will be that let's make sure that the address is updated, because you don't want the customer going to the wrong place.
Correct.
So what we did some time back was, if a customer is looking for my branch, right? Why should I stop at just making sure that the information is perfect? Why don't I have a bot pop up and ask him saying, you're looking for this? Is there a way I can help service you digitally? And thereby I obviate the need for the customer to go to the branch. That's how, you're able to, take it to the next level. The other, again, one more important aspect, which I think a lot of my co-panelists touched upon, is you also have, data residing in different silos. It still is not easy, right? I mean, there aren't too many firms where you go, somebody says, I'll be a one-stop shop, right? I mean, you go for motor insurance, you'll go to the motor teams. For health insurance, you'll go to the team, which looks at medical. Similarly, in a bank, right? Private banking is very different from, let's say liabilities, which is very different from investment banking. So that's again an aspect. And this, sometimes you can have some, very simple things missing out. One database may have only 25 characters for address. The other database, will have 30 characters. So suddenly you find, 5 letters missing. So you need to, get these integrated experiences going. And I'll just sign off with one example, because as I said, this is a topic on which, one can cover plenty of dimensions. Sometimes you also need to think out of the box. For example, if you look at, let's say, delivery, right? People follow SOPs. Try deliver at home, then try deliver in the office, and then try sometimes, right? Again, I'm giving you from personal experience. So once we tried, social media, we were able to get in touch with the customer. We said, I'm in Goa holidaying for a week. Please come back, 8 days later. We were able to deliver. So that's how, so even when you do get formal, you also need to be creative. And when you bring both of those elements in, then it can become a wow.